Good morning and greetings and welcome to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on the Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis and acne and rosacea and eczema, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that healing system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is simply the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we're here for you. We welcome your calls at 855-660-4261, 855-660-4261. If you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, if you have questions about the longevity products or formulations or skincare or ingredients or something you may have heard on the news or from a friend, let us help clear up the confusion. 855-660-4261 is our Brightside call-in phone number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear us talk about on the Bright Side, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. You can also head over to my website, brightsideben.com, and take a look at our shopping cart. All the longevity products are up, including the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, my personal favorite longevity product, the multivitamin mineral complex powder that you add to water and drink. It's $50 a canister. Most folks will notice results within 1 or 2 doses, results like weight loss, appetite suppression, lower blood pressure, getting off your meds or at least weaning off your medication, just feeling better, more energy. You can find out all about it at brightsideben.com, or you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Make sure you ask about joining the team, helping spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, earning yourself some thank you checks while you're at it and getting your products at the wholesale price. They can tell you all about it on the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, or you can click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. Okay, we are talking about nerve chemicals, nerve transmission chemicals, so-called neurotransmitters, and specifically acetylcholine as it relates to cigarette smoke, as well as to we're going to talk about as it relates to cigarette smoke, as well as to pesticides and nerve gas. But before we do that, I want to touch on something that we talked about at the end of the program yesterday, a subject that seems to have sparked a lot of interest. I got several emails. Seems to have struck a nerve on this subject of aluminum toxicity and aluminum buildup. Got 3 emails, actually, on this subject, and I think I may have caused a little bit of confusion. So let me see if I can clarify my thoughts, and then we'll move on to talking about acetylcholine and lipofuscin and nerve gas and tobacco and cigarette smoking and pesticides. All right, so a couple of points I want to make here about aluminum. First of all, most importantly, a little over 8% of the Earth's crust is aluminum. After silica and after oxygen, it's the third most abundant element in the Earth's crust, and it's the most abundant metal. And that means that our earthly environment, our terrestrial environment, is packed with aluminum. Americans get somewhere in the order of 25 to 35 milligrams of aluminum every day, which in terms of minerals is quite a bit. Some of that comes from plants, some of that comes from cooking utensils, some of that comes from food processing chemicals, some of it may come from chemtrails and toxicity, but because aluminum is so poorly absorbed by the body when we're healthy, for most of us, aluminum ingestion is going to, the aluminum that we're ingesting, I should say, is going to be excreted out of our bodies. So it's not going to be a big problem for most of us. Now, while metallic, non-plant aluminum is toxic if it's ingested in sufficient quantities. And by the way, nobody knows what those sufficient quantities are. And because of the fact that aluminum is so poorly absorbed and most of the stuff that we ingest is going to be excreted, more than likely aluminum is not an issue. Even though non-plant processed aluminum, yes, is probably toxic. It's important to keep in mind, however, that the studies that are done on aluminum toxicity are typically done on non-plant forms of aluminum. And they also tend to be done using large quantities of aluminum. According to an article that was published in the journal Environmental Health Perspectives, this is a quote, levels of 5 to 50 times the normal daily intake of aluminum, that is, do not appear to interfere with metabolic processes. The adverse effects of aluminum reported in the more recent years resulted from the inhalation or ingestion of aluminum in concentrations many times greater than the amounts present under normal circumstances, unquote. What that basically means is to have any kind of aluminum toxicity, you've got to be eating a lot of aluminum. And you got to be using a lot of aluminum cans and a lot of aluminum utensils, and you got to be breathing in a lot of aluminum chemtrails. For most of us, aluminum ingestion is not going to be a problem. Secondly, the form of aluminum that comes from plants and the animals that eat those plants and plant-derived mineral supplements like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is organic colloidal aluminum. It's protected by compounds that plants make that attach themselves to these metals and chemically transform them. This is such an important point because I keep hearing this idea about this confusion about metals and minerals. There's metals and there's minerals that are toxic. There's metals and minerals that are non-toxic, and they can be the same metal and mineral. There can be, you can have aluminum that's non-toxic. You can have aluminum that's toxic depending on what a plant does to it. This is the difference between plant-derived minerals and metallic minerals. This is called organic minerals. Organic minerals are the kinds that are transformed by plants, and inorganic minerals. Minerals that are organic, have been transformed by plants, are not toxic. In other words, natural aluminum that's found in foods, natural aluminum that's made in plants, not the aluminum from food processing chemicals, not the aluminum from vaccines, not the aluminum from drugs. The aluminum that's found in plants is non-toxic. Additionally, there is some evidence, albeit not a lot of evidence, but there is some that suggests that aluminum may actually have some nutritional value. Yesterday I talked about an article that discussed the health benefits of aluminum as it involves energy production chemistry. A dietary deficiency of aluminum in goats was shown to result in increased abortions, as well as nervous system breakdown, as well as decreased longevity. Aluminum deficiency has been shown to decrease growth in chicks, and aluminum has been described in experiments as being required for bone growth, for DNA synthesis, as well as for energy metabolism. And you can find all this information on page 15 of the book, Clinical Nutrition of the Essential Trace Elements and Minerals, published by the Humana Press. Now, metallic aluminum that's found in antacids and various drugs and baking powder, vaccines, food processing chemicals, this is not the same as organic, colloidal, plant-derived aluminum. That stuff is toxic. Metallic aluminum, drug aluminum, vaccine aluminum, processing chemical, food processing chemical aluminum, aluminum and chemtrails. That stuff is toxic if it's ingested in sufficient amounts. Nobody knows what those amounts are, but certainly you don't want to be interacting with the stuff if you don't have to. Yes, metallic aluminum, the metal, non-food form, is in sufficient quantities. Again, no one really knows what those are, but in sufficient quantities, it's very likely going to be a problem if you ingest enough of it. Aluminum can interfere with other minerals, phosphorus, magnesium, maybe calcium. It's probably a good idea not to be ingesting a lot of this metallic form of aluminum, but this is not the same as the aluminum that's processed by plants and ingested by animals that eat those plants, or the aluminum that's in the plant-derived mineral products, the longevity products like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Remember, aluminum is abundant. If it was all that toxic, we'd be in big trouble. Is excessive ingestion of metallic aluminum a problem? Perhaps. In laboratory experiments, high amounts do indicate there is some brain toxic effects, high amounts. And there's also probably kidney effects, too. The kidney's going to be eliminating some of that aluminum. But you got to ingest lots of aluminum for these things to happen. And whether or not, aside from in drugs and perhaps in processed foods, we get enough to cause the problems up for debate. All right, we'll come back. We'll talk about neurotransmitters. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side.
You have all seen and heard about the elements of the periodic table. These elements are the building blocks of everything in the universe. You, my friends, are made from these elements. A shortage of any of these important trace elements can lead to disease. Go with the science and take the Lady Talk Health Challenge and get all 90 essential trace elements with a healthy start pack at LadyTalkLive.com. Or call 855-333-LADY. That's 855-333-5239.
Research shows it's not just what you put in your body that counts, it's what you put on it as well. Why not use an all-natural, healthy mineral-based makeup that actually benefits your skin? Once you experience the airiness and flawless coverage of Longevity mineral makeup, you will never use anything else. With Longevity, the perception of your complexion will be natural perfection. Animal-friendly mineral makeup at Mary Lou Health. That's MARILU Health.com. Or call 855-321-HEALTH.
This is Bill Brown, Midas Resources, Gold and Silver, government shutdown, inept politicians, unfunded entitlements, looming Obamacare, the death of the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency is what nobody wants to acknowledge. We have a debt bubble that cannot be paid and will eventually crash the dollar. If you are concerned about maintaining your purchasing power, consider this. Gold and silver are up 497% in 13 years. Call me, 800-686-2237, extension 332. Together we can discuss your options of buying gold and silver. Analysts agree the dollar's problems are increasing. Call me, Bill Brown, 800-686-2237 at extension 332, and we'll discuss your option of buying precious metals. Also, I can send you information on how you can roll over your IRA or 401k into a precious metals IRA. Don't get caught with money in your account when the dollar collapses. Call me, Bill Brown, at Midas Resources, 1-800-686-2237, extension 332.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
We are America's largest independently owned communications network, GC.
All right, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for being here. We're on the air 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com or the searchable archive page at benfuchsarchives.com. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that up. And apparently, I think that's, if there were any problems, I don't know if there were any problems. Rose yesterday called and said there were some problems with the site, but apparently there either weren't any problems or there are no longer any problems. That's benfuchsarchives.com if you want to search any of the programs. that you missed, you can head over there, or you can check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories and blog posts. We also have a link to the archive page at pharmacistben.com. And, of course, you can also check out brightsideben.com if you want to join the Brightside Ben team or purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program or recommended on the Brightside. Our number today is 855-660-4261. Got lines open for you. Love to hear from you. If you have a success story, if you want to contribute to the conversation, or if you have questions about prescription medication, formulations, the longevity products, health issues, or any kind of nutritional subjects that you want us to cover. 855-660-4261 is our Brightside number. All right, so I hope I cleared that up about aluminum. If you are interested in protection from aluminum, there's lots of great supplements that can protect you from aluminum. N-acetylcysteine, NAC, one of my all-time favorite supplements, is very protective. Selenium can be protective. Vitamin E is protective. Sulfur in the MSM form. You can use something called citrate. Citrate's kind of interesting stuff. It's found in lemons and limes and citrus fruits. Citrate has some interesting chelating properties that can chelate aluminum as well as other heavy metals out of your system. Vitamin C can be helpful. Zeolite can also be helpful. Zeolite actually is made with aluminum. It contains aluminum, but it's a protected type of aluminum, and it will suck out heavy metals out of the body. And then chlorella, spirulina, algae all have chelating properties that can chelate metals out of the body, including aluminum. And, of course, you always want to make sure that you're on a good nutritional supplement program, especially one that features colloidal, organic, plant-derived minerals, like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Okay, back to our conversation about the brain and the nerve chemical acetylcholine. Nerve gas and pesticides both work by affecting this neurotransmitter, nerve chemical. When I say neurotransmitter, I mean nerve chemical. These are chemicals that are released out of nerves and cause nerve cells to have their effects. Pesticides are actually a type of nerve gas. Pesticides are nerve gas for insects, or nerve gas is a type of pesticide. Nerve gas is a pesticide for human beings. Either way, both of these deadly chemicals work by affecting the nerve chemical acetylcholine. Remember, acetylcholine has relaxing effects. Problem is, nerve gas and pesticides have super relaxing effects, extra relaxing effects. They relax nerves a lot. That's why they call it nerve gas. They relax nerves. This super relaxation effect on the nervous system causes muscles to become so relaxed they don't move. And this especially affects the respiratory system. And it's this respiratory depression or respiratory rest that's actually responsible for, in large part responsible for these chemicals' effects. Pesticides that affect acetylcholine, this nerve transmitter, also can have negative effects on the production of the nutrient choline, which is not only a building block of acetylcholine, but it's a building block of all the cells, all the cell membranes, and it's an important nutrient for fat metabolism as well as sugar processing and hormone processing. Now remember, pesticides are going to be in fruits. Pesticides are going to be in vegetables, and sometimes you can't even rinse the stuff off. Of course, if you are using non-organic pesticide-covered berries and fruits and vegetables, you really want to make sure you're rinsing the stuff off well. You can use a dilute solution of bleach. You can use hydrogen peroxide. They make pesticide-removing products that you can use. You can use even just plain old water. We'll get some of it out. But sometimes the pesticides are sprayed on the plants, and as the plants are growing or as the fruits are growing, the pesticide is actually embedded inside the plant, and they're difficult to rinse off. So you're not going to be able to get all of the pesticides out. Even if you eat organic, you're still going to get some toxicity just because it's in the ground and it's in the water that even organic crops are watered with. So you're not going to get all the pesticides out of your plants and vegetables, and pesticides can certainly have a negative effect on choline production and can have negative effects on all the acetylcholine kinds of properties, all the nerve transmission effects that acetylcholine is involved with. So use organic, rinse your veggies and fruits off with water or any kind of anti-pesticide solution that you could buy in the produce department at your food store. Supplementing with choline is also a good strategy if you think that you're being exposed to pesticides, using choline as a supplement, or eating choline-containing foods, eggs, dairy, fish, organ meats. If you're a vegan, you can use nuts or soy to get your choline. There's also going to be some choline in beans and in seeds. For dessert, you can eat chocolate. Chocolate contains significant amounts of choline, and if you mix it with some peanut butter, then you can get extra choline because there's choline in peanut butter as well. Then there's a very interesting relationship between tobacco and acetylcholine. As it turns out, nicotine acts like the nerve transmitter, the nerve chemical acetylcholine. Nicotine mimics acetylcholine. This is one of the reasons why people like to have cigarettes for their relaxing properties, like to smoke cigarettes, because they have a relaxing effect. The acetylcholine, or the nicotine, acts like acetylcholine. It has a kind of relaxing effect. Acetylcholine, this nerve chemical, sits inside a little socket on nerve cells, just like a key fits into a lock. This is how all hormones work. They sit inside cells, and they just like a key fits into a lock, and they switch it on, and all kinds of effects happen inside whatever cell it is, whether it's a nerve cell or any other cell. This socket or lock is called a receptor. And nicotine can sit in this receptor just as well as acetylcholine can. Biologists and biochemists actually call this little plug that acetylcholine rests in on a nerve cell, they call it a nicotinic receptor, or a nicotine receptor. It gets named after the nicotine that's found in tobacco, and this, as I say, accounts in large measure for the relaxing effects that are associated with smoking. Nicotine is essentially a nerve chemical. It's essentially a neurotransmitter. It essentially has pesticide-like effects. Nicotine is actually a natural pesticide that the tobacco plant makes to poison its enemies, to keep people from eating it, to keep people from smoking it even. The reason it's got pesticide-like effects is because it actually is a pesticide. It's a phytochemical toxin. It's a plant chemical toxin. It's a plant chemical pesticide that the tobacco plant makes as a defensive weapon. It's a natural plant pesticide. This phenomenon of plants making pesticides is very, very important to recognize. I'm talking about plants making their own natural pesticides. This is a very interesting phenomenon, because most of us think that vegetables are always kind and always benign and always gentle, and there's no problem. You can eat all the vegetables you want. This isn't true. I talk to so many people about their health issues, and when I say you got to watch out for the foods you're eating, people will tell me, well, I just eat salads. I'm just a vegetarian. I eat really, really well, forgetting that plants and vegetables make toxins. Plants and vegetables make toxins that can cause arthritis, that can cause autoimmune disease, that human beings can react to in many, many different negative ways. Plants make defensive chemicals to keep their enemies, us, or other animals, from eating them. And while no one eats tobacco, and by the way, if you did eat tobacco, you would get very, very sick and probably die. If you ate the amount of nicotine that's in a pack of cigarettes, you'd probably die. Nicotine is a major toxin when it's eaten, although it's nowhere near as toxic when it's smoked. If you orally ingest, if you eat that same amount of nicotine, you get extremely sick. You probably would die. All right, I got more to say here about nicotine, and then we'll take your phone calls as well. 855-660-4261 is our number on the bright side. We'll be back right after this.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically. And Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off of your entire order, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $33,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $33,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
It's hard to imagine when things are going reasonably well, just how quickly things can change. But what would it take? Economic collapse, massive crop failure, chemical or biological attack? So many situations could find you in the grocery looking to pick up food for your family only to find that the shelves are empty. There's nothing. Don't let that happen. Act today to make sure that if it ever comes to that, you and your family will be provided for. Visit freezedryguy.com to look at the wide variety of survival foods available. Freeze-dried foods from the Freeze Dry Guy store longer, rehydrate faster, are nutritionally superior to, and taste better than any other long-term storage food available. Visit freezedryguy.com or call toll-free 866-404-3663. freezedryguy.com.
In the U.S., 1 in every 50 homes will have a break-in this year. Burglars call it smash and grab. Police call it robbery. We call it avoidable. We are Fake TV, a simple electronic device that can fool even professional burglars. Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet and simulates the changing colors of a television. To a burglar, it looks like someone must be home watching TV, so they'll likely move on to an easier target. At only $29.95, Fake TV costs less than a month of most alarm monitoring plans and comes with free shipping. Order your Fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GC.
All right, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. 855-660-4261 is our number on the bright side. Do have some lines open for you if you've got questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, or any of the longevity products. If you've got skincare questions, we can help you out as well. 855-660-4261. If you're interested in joining the Brightside Ben team, you can give the Brightside Ben phone team a call at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. You can also check out my website, brightsideben.com, and take a look at the shopping cart we have up, as well as clicking on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. If you want to join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $10 fee, you can start yourself a longevity business and earn thank you checks, helping share the longevity products, including the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Healthy Start Pack, all the longevity products. For a one-time $10 fee, you can enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business, earn yourself some thank you checks, and get your products at the wholesale price. hit the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com or call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Okay, so nicotine and acetylcholine are similar. They got a lot of things in common. In fact, acetylcholine, the receptors that link up with acetylcholine on nerve cells are actually called by biochemists nicotine receptors or nicotinic receptors. Nicotine is pretty strong stuff. Kind of interesting. If you were to eat the same amount of nicotine that you smoke, you would probably get very sick. You could very likely die. In fact, I think you could probably die by eating a pack of cigarettes, the nicotine in a pack of cigarettes, even though you can smoke them. And you'd still get sick, but you don't get, you obviously don't die right away. Nicotine is pretty deadly stuff, as it turns out. The foods that contain, foods that are in the same family as the tobacco plant also have toxins in them. Eggplant, tomatoes, potatoes, sweet peppers, hot peppers. These are generally called nightshade vegetables, and tobacco is an example of a nightshade vegetable. And these kinds of this family of plants contain some pretty particularly nasty plant toxins, natural pesticides that can exacerbate all kinds of inflammatory health issues, especially arthritis. If you have arthritis, you really want to be aware of these nightshade vegetables: eggplants, tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, as well as nicotine. So nicotine is an acetylcholine-mimicking transmitter, albeit a toxic one because of its similarity to natural biochemistry. We make our own nicotine. Like substances, the body becomes used to nicotine. And this is what nicotine addiction is. Nicotine enters the brain with great ease, and in short order, the brain becomes to depend on nicotine, and we become to depend on nicotine. That's called addiction. Nicotine is as addictive as heroin. It's as addictive as cocaine. Two other substances, by the way, that are similar to natural biochemicals, and anyone who's had to quit smoking can tell you that getting off nicotine is really, really tough. Nicotine is made from vitamin B3. That's another interesting phenomenon in biochemistry. Nicotine and vitamin B3, niacin, are very similar. Nicotine in the body is actually made from vitamin B3, another relaxing molecule. You may have heard of something called nicotinic acid. This is a form of nicotine, also a form of niacin. I don't want to say a form of, but very similar molecules. And one helpful strategy for weaning yourself off of tobacco is to use timed-release niacin in high doses, maybe 200 to 400 milligrams a day. Of course, make sure whenever you take one of the B vitamins, you want to make sure that you're balancing it out with the rest of the B vitamins. If you're going to use niacin, time-release niacin, to wean yourself off of nicotine, make sure you're using your Beyond Tangy Tangerine with your time-release niacin. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine contains all your B vitamins in generous amounts. Okay. Time to hit our phones. 855-660-4261 is our number. Let's go to James in Virginia. What's going on, James? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Wow, I'm delighted to get on so quickly. I can't believe it. Anyway, quick question. Well, actually I got two, but I didn't tell the pre-screener about the second one. But anyway, the first one is my wife has hypopituitarism, and she's taking levothyroxine.
For her pituitary? You sure it's not the thyroid?
No, that's what it is. And, well, that's what they say anyway. But she's taking levothyroxine, 75 micrograms, and also she's taking hydrocortisone, 20 milligrams.
Okay. Now, how old is your wife?
She's 68.
And height to weight, is she overweight at all or underweight at all?
Maybe slightly overweight. Her belly's a little bit fat, but she's pretty tiny. But she's
all right. Now, the pituitary gland, if you've got a pituitary disorder, you got to have some other stuff going on. That doesn't just happen all of a sudden. What's her health history? Does she have any kind of...
It seems I've been married to her for 2.5 years, but she had some severe hemorrhaging with her last child 2 years ago.
All right. So she had some hormonal problems her whole life, probably. Would that have been the case? Problems with periods or problems getting pregnant or anything like that?
I don't think any problems.
Well, you may not know if you've only been married to her for a couple of years, and she's 60 years old.
South America. She's from South America, Guyana, grew up there. She's only been over here for like 30 years, so I don't know what some of that...
Okay, well, here's what you got to do. As I said so many times in this program, the longest journey begins with a single step. We got to start where we can start. You can't treat the pituitary without treating the rest of the body. First things first. Digestive system, first things first. Now, there's no way that she doesn't have any digestive problems. If she's truly hypopituitary, she's got to have some digestive problems just from that. But chances are she hasn't been processing her fats her fatty nutrients, essential fatty acids, and fats from foods for a long time. That usually is what happens if she's got problems, either fertility problems or reproductive problems or menstrual problems or any kind of problems with the female reproductive system, as well as problems with the pituitary gland. Chances are she hasn't been processing her fats for a long period of time. So I'd be focusing, number one, on using fatty vitamins and fatty nutrients first of all. That would be things like the essential fatty acids, the ultimate EFAs, vitamin A, vitamin E. She's going to run some serious problems with deficiencies in these vitamins if she doesn't really start addressing these quickly. 20,000 international units of vitamin A, 400 international units of vitamin E. She probably would be wise to get on maybe 5,000 micrograms of vitamin K2 a day. And then making sure she's getting some significant sun, not burning though, but some significant sun to get her vitamin D3, her vitamin D. And then also using the essential fatty acids, especially fish oil, will get her some vitamin D as well, and make sure she's getting her omega-3s as well as her omega-6s. That's one of the neat things about the ultimate essential fatty acids is you'll get both the omega-3s and the omega-6s. Then you want to make sure that you're absorbing fats, that you're processing fats out of the digestive system, and there's lots of great nutrients for that. If you want to use the ultimate enzymes from Youngevity, if you want to use the Youngevity products, get on the ultimate enzymes. The Biolumin Nightly Essence is really interesting. We touch on that periodically as far as it regards fat metabolism. This is one of the hidden gems, hidden benefits, I should say, of probiotics, of good bacteria, is they help you process fats. And without fat, if you can't process fats, you can't make hormones. So making sure she's processing fats at the gut level, absorbing those fats is important. That would be the Biolumin Nightly Essence. And then in addition to the ultimate enzymes, you may want to throw in some bile salts. You can get bile salts. You can get bile salts by themselves at a health food store. There is some bile salts in the ultimate enzymes. And then one of my all-time favorite fat processing nutrients is lecithin. Lecithin not only will help you absorb fats, but it's also a good source of choline, which we just talked about, which on its own can help you process fats. Choline is also important for sugar metabolism, and that leads to my the second subject, which is helping her use sugar, helping her body use sugar. Hang tight, James. We've got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll come back and finish up, and if you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this.
I'm Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. And there's no reason why you shouldn't live to be at least 100 and have a great time getting there. And I'm going to give you a free copy of my lecture that tells you exactly how to do it. In fact, after you've lived a long and healthy life, there should be only 2 documents in your medical chart, a birth certificate and a death certificate. I'm Dr. Wallach with a warning. If you have a 4-inch medical chart, if you take prescription drugs for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, arthritis, joint pains, and other health issues, the medical profession is failing you. They're using you for an ATM machine. My free lecture is going to reveal what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. There's been groundbreaking research and discoveries on how to effectively treat or eliminate over 900 different diseases naturally. And it's all in my free lecture called Deadly Recipe. So call toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. Again, that's toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. 1-855-79-YOUNG.
So my elementary school-age child is begging me for a cell phone.
Please, Mom, please. All the kids have them.
But I've seen the research, and it makes sense to me that any mobile device that operates using electromagnetic frequencies that close to me or my child's head needs to be blocked.
Harmful wireless radiation is real. Protect yourself and your loved ones with Block It Pocket. Call 888-315-9618. Free shipping to the lower 48. BlockItPocket.com. Enhancing health and privacy.
The TalkStream Live app for iPhone, iPad, and Android is the fastest and easiest way to access live talk radio anytime, anywhere. Download the free TalkStream Live app right now and see for yourself. You'll enjoy instant access to the best in live talk radio. Find your favorite shows and discover some new ones. The TalkStream Live app is available in the App Store, the Google Play Store, or visit TalkStreamLive.com. That's TalkStreamLive.com.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman, Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595. That's 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are G's.
Okay, we are back on the bright side talking to James in Virginia. James, I'm going to go a little bit quick here, okay, my man? In addition to all the digestive stuff, you also want to make sure that she's stabilizing her blood sugar. Sometimes diabetes can be involved with hypopituitarism, and that means staying away from foods that mess up her blood sugar, as well as using nutrients that help her stabilize her blood sugar. We talked about choline before we went to the break. That can be helpful. Also, the B vitamins, very helpful. In fact, the B vitamins are probably your main nutrients for everything, for the pituitary, for the diabetes, for the potential diabetes, and also for digestive health. Use the Beyond Tangy Tangerine for that. Let's do the sweeties, from Youngevity, chromium and vanadium can help keeping her away from sugar, insulin spiking and blood sugar spiking foods, fruit juices and breads and pastas. That's always going to be a good idea. There's also, you mentioned that she was on, they're giving her a thyroid medicine, levothyroxine, which tells me there may be some kind of link to hypothyroidism. They may suspect that there's a hypothyroid link. Does she have constipation, or is she losing her hair, dry skin, or anything like that? Problems with cold extremities, fingers, toes?
Some hair turning gray, a little bit thinning.
Well, that's not too significant. Does she have cold extremities, fingers and toes, and that kind of thing? Is she?
Yeah, occasionally, complaints about that.
Then she probably does have a thyroid problem, which means that there's probably some kind of connection to the adrenal glands. There's an important link between your stress glands and your pituitary, and the fact that she's hypothyroid tells me that she may be burnt out at the adrenal level, and there's a couple things you want to do for that. Using Celtic sea salt and water, that may help her. The mineral zinc may help her, 50 milligrams of zinc a day, and then the vitamin C, which Dr. Thomas Levy calls the primal panacea, that may be helpful for the adrenal glands, and it's just helpful for everything. 1,000 to 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, you'll get some vitamin C in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And then last but not least, if she's hypopituitary, chances are she's not making melatonin, and that can have some really, really negative effects. Melatonin, I just did a blog post on melatonin, actually, where I wrote that melatonin is not just for sleep, even though most of us know that melatonin is involved in sleep. She probably has a little insomnia, too, I would guess. And that's a sign that that she's deficient in melatonin. And being deficient in melatonin can lead to cancer. Being deficient in melatonin can lead to accelerated aging. Being deficient in melatonin can lead to a lot of big problems, heartburn, digestive problems. So maybe she might want to try 3 to 6 milligrams of a sublingual, that is under the tongue, version of melatonin, and have her suck on that 3 to 6 milligrams, 1 to 2 sublingual tablets before she goes to bed. So lots of good ideas there for you. Did you have anything else that you wanted to ask me?
Quickly, it's probably somewhat related. She was discovered some hepatitis a few months ago, or maybe last year. I forgot when it was. But apparently it was gotten from blood transfusions in South America some years ago.
Well, you can't. If she has hepatitis, and the way you treat hepatitis, no matter what kind of hepatitis it is or where it came from, is you got to be kind and loving to the body, especially in terms of the digestive system and in terms of toxicity, and that includes prescription drugs that you put into the body. The liver does all kinds of stuff, but it's mainly a digestive organ and a detoxification organ. That means being really, really careful with the kind of food she's eating and eating less food if possible, using more nutrients but less calories, using a nutritional supplement program but not eating a lot of food. And then secondly, if she's on prescription drugs, try to keep her dose down as much as possible, or if she can wean herself off those prescription drugs, that would be great as well. Keeping poisons out of the body, whether they're digestive poisons or drug poisons, is the best way to take care of the liver. I'm sorry, go ahead, James.
Well, it's just those two prescriptions,
levothyroxine
and hydrocortisone.
Well, the hydrocortisone, that's going to put a burden on the liver. They both will, but the hydrocortisone is pretty burdensome. If she can wean herself off the hydrocortisone, that would be great. If not, then do everything else that we just talked about, including focusing on the digestive system, especially fats, the blood sugar system, and then working with adrenal health. And then I'd be throwing in 3 to 6 milligrams a night of melatonin, too. Thanks so much for your call, man. Anything else?
You didn't mention anything about the digestive, the probiotics. I was surprised.
And then, yes, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. The Biolumin Nightly Essence, absolutely, the probiotics for fat metabolism.
Okay.
Thanks so much, James. God bless, and good luck with your wife. I appreciate your call. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Steve in Virginia. Welcome to the Brightside, Steve. Good morning.
Hey, I have to speak for him. This is Rose, Steve.
Oh, hey, Rose. I was talking about aluminum. Did you hear me talk about aluminum this morning?
Yeah, I was thinking my concern is because, they have been bombarding us in the past about the relationship between aluminum and Alzheimer's, and I was concerned about that.
No, I'm not buying it. Listen to the first 10 minutes. Have them listen to the first 10 minutes of the program today, where I talked about aluminum. How can I help you?
I started a little bit later because I had to do something, but my question is this. I just called this morning a friend of ours, and he said that he fell off from his bed. I don't know how. I don't know if he had imbalance or what. And he said that he started bleeding. And I wanted you to explain to us, the physiology why. And then, how doctors are. They put a stent in his nose.
He got a nosebleed. He fell and got a nosebleed. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, and then they put a stent.
How bad was the nosebleed? He couldn't stop the bleeding. The bleed wouldn't stop.
That's what they were saying.
That's a sign. Either the blood is becoming really thin, or more than likely the blood vessels are becoming weak. When you have bleeding that doesn't stop, the first thing I think about is weak blood vessels. Remember, the body breaks down. The whole body breaks down as we age. Just kind of dissolves. It falls apart, especially the part of the body that we call connective tissue. Remember, the body's made up of right? The connective tissue, the muscle tissue, the surface tissue, the epithelial tissue, and the nervous tissue. Those are the 4 components of the body. When you have bleeding that doesn't stop, that tells me the connective tissue is starting to break down. That's usually a sign that the body is degenerating. So a couple things that you want to do. Again, focus on digestive health and wellness. That's the first thing to do, because if you're not absorbing protein, you're not absorbing your vitamins, you're not going to be able to build strong blood vessels. There's nutrients that you can use to help build strong blood vessels. Vitamin C is probably the most important. The glucogel caps can also help. We don't talk about that anywhere near enough, how the glucogel caps help build strong blood vessels. The glucosamine is involved in connective tissue building. Make sure you take vitamin C with your glucogel caps. Essential fatty acids are also very important. You can also use something called high hyaluronic acid. That may help build strong blood vessels, as well as helping build strong connective tissue too. And then don't forget your whey protein. Especially and animal protein in general, as opposed to vegetable protein. Animal protein, whether it's whey protein or dairy or eggs or meat, contain building blocks for connective tissue, building blocks that help grow connective tissue, and that's something else to think about. But if you have a digestive problem, you're not going to be absorbing those. So make sure that if you're using whey protein, or you're going to be eating more meat to get these kinds of amino acids for building strong blood vessels, make sure that you're using the ultimate enzymes. Make sure that you're acidifying the stomach using apple cider vinegar after your meals too. too. And then you may want to throw in some extra bile salts and some extra digestive support, lecithin and choline and taurine, these substances that can help produce bile and support the digestive system. And then probiotics are always important for good digestive health. Focus on building strong blood vessels using vitamin C, essential fatty acids, high hyaluronic acid, perhaps even minerals like magnesium and calcium can also help. And then making sure that you're absorbing all of these, and protein, and making sure that you're absorbing all of these nutrients with digestive enzymes and other digestive support. Okay, does that help, Rose?
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless. Have a beautiful day, ma'am. Okay, real quick, Susan in Arkansas. I got about a minute left. What's going on? How can we help you?
Hey, thank you so much. I got your basic building blocks, the EFAs. I listen to your show all the time, the probiotics. Everything that you just said to that last caller. I've got a husband who has alcohol issue, and I know we were talking about the tobacco today and how that responds to the cell. Can you give me some advice beyond just
for getting off of alcohol using nutrition?
Yes, please.
Well, I'll tell you. In addition to, it's not so much using nutrients to get to wean yourself off of alcohol. It's using nutrients to protect you from the alcohol. One of the things that happens with alcohol is it causes us to lose a lot of nutrients, especially water-soluble nutrients, because alcohol is a diuretic. So making sure he's getting lots of B vitamins and lots of vitamin C and lots of electrolytes is majorly important. And the B vitamin thiamine is extra important. That's vitamin B1. So saturating himself with water-soluble nutrients, that's the single most important strategy, and that includes minerals, by the way, many of which are water-soluble. That includes minerals, electrolytes, B vitamins, and vitamin C, and I'd be making sure I was using the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Number one, I'd be using 1,000 to 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Number two, in addition to the B complex that you're going to get from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, have him use something called a B100 capsule or pill, and I'd be taking those every couple of hours. And then last but most certainly not least, making sure he's getting his electrical minerals, his electrolytes, potassium and calcium, magnesium and such. You'll get some in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, but also using vegetables and vegetable juices. One of the neat things about weaning yourself off of alcohol or weaning yourself off of sugar or any kind of crappy food is once you give yourself really good food, once you give yourself really good nutrients, you're going to have less of a tendency to want to poison your body with drugs or with alcohol or with poison crapola food. Thanks for your call, Susan. Appreciate it. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curve appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.